Good evening. Thank you for joining us. It's official. NHL hockey players have been locked out by the league. Last night, the collective bargaining agreement expired. And with no new deal in place as of yet, the hockey season is in jeopardy of being canceled altogether. Now, this hockey lockout could affect local businesses here in the border city, but it could also boost attendance numbers when it comes to local sports teams.
It's a sight hockey fans are familiar with. The young guns on the Edmonton Oilers caused many fans to jump out of their seats. But it may be some time before we see guys like Jordan Eberle and Taylor Hall lace up. NHL players have been locked out due to an expired deal between the league and the National Hockey League Players Association.
At the end of the day, I mean, people are going to want to watch hockey.
But not all is lost when it comes to watching hockey here in the border city. Ryan Parent, the head coach of the Lloydminster Bobcats, says he hopes to see more fans in the stands now that there isn't NHL hockey to compete with.
I would hope that the people in Lloydminster would come on down to the games if they haven't been to a game in a long time, or I mean, it's a great opportunity to watch junior hockey at its best.
Over at the Canadian Brewhouse, the thought of an NHL season being cancelled isn't sitting too well. The owner of the sports bar says hockey is their biggest moneymaker.
That would be very damaging to our business. I mean, we're the Canadian Brewhouse, and hockey is definitely a Canadian sport, so losing that this season would upset many people.
This is the fourth work stoppage since 1992, and that has many fans we spoke to voicing their disappointment.
I don't think it's right. The owners make a lot of money and the players make a lot of money. It's the fans that don't get anything out of it.
There will be lots of AHL to watch, junior hockey. So I did last time.
I don't personally care because I don't watch a lot of hockey.
The hockey season could be back and running as soon as an agreement is back in place. Now, it could take a few weeks or an entire season. But for those who can't wait to get their hockey fix, they could always head to the Civic Center for action.
An area family who lost everything in a devastating fire back in August is receiving a big boost from the community. A silent auction was held today to help them rebuild their lives. It's just part of a touching story of a community coming together to help each other out. Everything in the silent auction was donated so that all proceeds raised could go directly to Robert and Marla Rouser, whose family lost their home.
We're getting together as a community and supporting this family and helping to raise funds so that they can rebuild their home and rebuild their life again.
The money will help the family buy small necessities that aren't covered by the insurance company.
It's about helping people and stepping up for one another and just enjoying life and being able to be there for one another. That's what it's all about.
There is no word yet on how much money was raised today. Meanwhile, Canadian country star George Canyon hit the stage in Lloydminster last night, but it wasn't your typical show. All the money raised went to a very special cause, helping kids right here in the border city. Lauren Pullen reports.
The busy life of a country music star.
Keep going, just way back, keep going.
But George Canyon is taking a bit of a timeout before his benefit concert, rekindling a ritual from the past.
We used to play football. In fact, this is the last place we played, the last time we played here, out in the one of the riding arenas.
From playing a little toss to playing for a crowd of over 1,500, Canyon is helping out the Lloydminster Community Youth Center with all the proceeds from this benefit show supporting its move to a brand new facility.
We're crammed into what began about 7 years ago as a temporary location, and it's been awesome up to this point, but we have well over 7,000 youth come through our center every year.
For Canyon, agreeing to play is a no-brainer.
This is the perfect fit. It's what a community really is about. It's about coming together and helping out others and just feeling good at the end of the night.
A helping hand making this move a reality.
We're getting close to being where we need to be to finally launch our new building, hopefully sometime next year. And this fundraiser has just been phenomenal. We've had great help from George, and the community stepped up.
Old hockey injury screws up the football game.
And back on the makeshift football field, the reason this tradition's seen its last day, an injury to a former drummer.
He broke a finger before a show and had to play the show with his finger taped. And I remember him in tears. I turned around and looked at him, and there was just tears coming out his eyes because he was just in such pain.
So while some good things come to an end, others continue on supporting a great cause. Lauren Pullen, Newcap News.
32 years ago, Terry Fox attempted to run across Canada with an amputated leg, all in the name of cancer research. And ever since then, the Terry Fox Run has been held in communities across the country. Here in Lloydminster, schools held their own runs last week, and today there was a chance for those in the border city to pay their respects in the form of running. Elise Cox has more.
Terry Fox began his cross-Canada journey 32 years ago, and although he was never able to accomplish it, his legacy still lives on today. The Terry Fox Run is a nationwide event that takes place in September every year, and Lloydminster has jumped on board in his fight against cancer. Students at Bishop Lloyd Middle School held their own Terry Fox Run to contribute to the cause.
It's a really great event at the beginning of the year to try to get kids involved in anything that we can to do with the community and Canada in general. It's a national event.
The school has organized advisory activities to educate about Terry Fox and start discussions among the students.
I think everyone in the school at least knows one person that has passed away from cancer or has had it. So everyone wants to give back to the school, to cancer, and help everyone.
But it's not just students who have the chance to contribute to this worthy cause. The annual Terry Fox Run has residents gearing up to show their support for those who have battled cancer and contribute to research.
If people get involved, contribute $1 per person, it all adds up.
To date, the Terry Fox Foundation has raised almost $600 million to help find a cure. Elise Cox, Newcap News.
Growing pains for the Lloydminster Bobcats. They dropped 3 last week. They were on the road this weekend for 2 games against the Grand Prairie Storm. On Friday, they lost 4-2. Last night, they didn't do any better. The Bobcats fell to 0-5 on the season after losing 5-2. Mitch Gartner had a goal and an assist in the loss. He was also involved in a play late in the second period that sent 5 guys to the box for a total of 40 minutes. Also involved was goalie Chase Martin, who was kicked out of the game. The Bobcats have allowed a league worst 21 goals in their first 5 games.
We still need to bury our chances at the net, and I mean we need to limit offensive opportunities. So our guys are getting it together. It is taking longer than what I had. As a coach, you're always looking for that next win, but we're focused on the process, and it's going to come. I know that.
While the Bobcats struggle, the Pontiacs continue their strong play. They started the season 4-0 before being pitted against the top team in the South, the Camrose Kodiaks. The Pontiacs scored 2 goals within the first 5 minutes, but couldn't hold off the high-flying Kodiaks, who answered back with a goal in each period to take a 3-2 lead. Jackson Dudley potted one with under 10 minutes left to send it into overtime, but Jonathan Lashin scored less than a minute into the extra frame to give the Ponts their first loss of the year. Stephen Klein stopped 30 shots in the overtime loss. The Lloydminster Bandits started their season last night with an exhibition game against this year's Junior B Provincial's host, the Wainwright Bisons. Bandits and Bisons tied at 2 heading into the third. Visitors with an awful giveaway. Roper Jones not able to tuck it home. Moments later, Jordan Patchuk is nailed by Josh Holt. Play continues, and Roper Jones picks up the puck and steamrolls Colby Lefebvre as the game gets heated up. A minute later, sloppy 3-man rush nearly leads to a goal by Riley McNabb. Then Brent Kolibaba nearly snipes one before McNabb fires one into the half-empty cage. It's 3-2, 3 minutes into the third. With the score 4-2 Bandits. Nathan Newman at the side of the net can't bury the golden pass from Chris Romanchuk. Same possession. Romanchuk fans from the same spot. He can't believe it. 8 minutes left in the game. Bison cycling low. Taylor Shabata walks out, fools the Bandits with a softie. Less than 2 minutes later, Merrick Lewis on the Bandits' back end. Awful giveaway. Scott Rowland shelves the gimme. It's tied at 4. Less than a minute later, the Bandits can't grab the puck off the faceoff. Dustin Picard puts it in front, poked away right to Tyler Croning, who buries it. Bisons lead 5-4 thanks to 3 goals in 3.5 minutes. Final 2 minutes. Bandits on the power play. Brody Pollard can't sneak one in short side. Scramble for the puck ensues. Bounces out to the other side where Pollard tucks it in. But wait, it didn't cross the line somehow. The Bisons win it, 5-4.
I expect myself to be there when it really counts. I mean, the last 2 goals, that's when the team really needs me. I mean, 11 shots. I'd like to have those last couple right when it really counts, but that's something I'm going to work on. I mean, rebounds and stuff like that, but that's all something that's going to come as we move along, and it should be taken care of pretty quickly.
40-11. You know, we outplayed them most of the game, but had that 10-minute lapse, and in this league you can't do that 10-minute lapse. And you know, I'm sure Blair would like a couple back. I'm sure our defense would like a couple back, but we just got to tighten up a little bit more in our back end. But in the end, preseason, we're still looking at guys and getting better.
The Lloydminster Universal Heat also were on the ice this weekend, taking part in their first tournament of the year in Edmonton. They dropped their first game 3-1 against last year's league champs, the SSAC Lions. Yesterday, they faced another team that fell to the Lions in last year's playoffs, the St. Albert Sabres. The Heat, again, dropped a close one, losing 4-3. They followed that loss up with an identical one, a 4-3 loss to the Sherwood Park Flyers, who lost in the first round of the 2011-12 playoffs. It's a tough start to the season under their new head coach, Jason Clegg. Well, as I mentioned earlier, the Lakeland Rustlers men's soccer team was on the field today after beating the Olds College Broncos yesterday. Today, they're against the top team in the division, the undefeated St. Trojans. St. on the attack early. Block shot is recovered beautifully by Idris Sarama, but a shot is blocked by another Rustler. Same half. Trojans charging again. Despite defensive pressure, they go for the net, but it's no good. Rustlers will finally break up a Trojans attack. Josh Pinton lobs the ball deep. Perfect positioning for a perfect header to Dakota Tutsis. Gets a foot on it, but can't find the target. Game is still scoreless. Moments later, Amadou Lamine Diallo is taken down in the box. That's a penalty kick. That's a goal. Trojans open up the lead on the road to the second half. Corner kick cleared by the Rustlers. Defender's shot is blocked and picked up by Diallo, who feeds it across to a wide open Dylan Portillo, who makes it look way too easy. Trojans would add another later on in the match on a goal by Mike Ham. According to the Fenton Files, the Trojans moved to 4-0 with the 3-0 win. Rustlers 1-1-1.
We were just outclassed today. I give all credit to the competition. St. did very well, and we showed that we're still a little bit naive and have to have a little more confidence in our play. So can't be afraid to lose, can't be afraid to go up the field, and that's where we're at right now.
The Lloydminster Minor Hockey Association held a referee clinic for returning and new hockey officials this morning.
For 2 days, the Northeast Zone Referees Committee taught and refreshed the rules of the game. Committee Secretary Troy Winterhalt says for the older guys, it's not very important, but for the kids, the weekend is crucial.
It gets them into the rule book, gets them brushing them up on the rules, penalty situations, canceling penalties, and learn numerical on-ice strength at certain points in certain situations. So it's a huge learning tool for the younger officials.
The training had a turnout of a couple dozen skaters representing all ages.
Is there enough? Probably not, but you just hope that you can mentor them and bring them along, and hopefully that they stick with it and can further their careers or stay involved in the games in ways that way.
Well, I've always wanted to ref since I was little, and I was finally old enough this year to take it, and I finally got to take it and get to ref hockey this season.
Those teaching and learning how to officiate stress the importance of the skaters in stripes. They say without them, the Northeast Zone would have their own lockout.
Well, it's just like the puck. If you don't have a puck, you don't play. And if you don't have officials, you don't play as well. So I think, there's definitely a need for them out there.
Without refs, it would be like no, everyone would just be running all over the ice crazy. Without refs, there wouldn't be hockey.